So, welcome back to a little SPY update video. In this video, we will talk about what will SPY, the SP 500, will do in the next 2 weeks and how is the whole thing looking. Are we getting a blow off top or do we start the crash? If you're interested, just stay tuned. So, as always, I'm using this fractal method. If you're interested in how it works, I will put the standalone video for this method where I explain it step by step at the end of the video, or you just look for the playlist Fractal method. So let's start with SPY. Just this time with the completely overlook. I have two versions. The first one means that from IPO for SPY till 2009 was just higher low. From 2009 till 2020 in April was just A. And for the more bearish version, March 2020 till March 2025 was your B. And right now, since then, we are looking for a C. If you're already topped, or if we're still getting a blow off top, we will look after that when we look in the more micro tracking. But the thing is, wherever we get our top, if we already did it, or if we're still going higher, if this would be our C top, which is happening, would happen the first time in the lifetime of SPY, your next target overall is V under A, and that's 220, 218-ish, because you have to come lower than this V under A. But when not something absolutely terrifying is happening, you won't do this. Yeah? Normally, your first drop will be a strong one, but you would still come up. Will do your lower peak. Then you still have to come lower where this lower peak started. And you come up again. This would be your M. And as always, you're doing your broadening wedge. Then you have to come again lower where the M started. Come up again. This would be your last time to sell before you do your V and A. But all in all, in my opinion, first of all, it should start, let's say, something end of January, February-ish. But the thing is, this isn't something which will be ended in a year. In my opinion, this will take 2 to 5 years to come back down here. And then the whole thing starts again. You're doing your higher low, your A, your B, your C, and go even higher. The only alternative I have for this means the higher low stands, the A stands too. The only thing which is not staying is the B. Because you see, your A is quite big, your B is quite small. The thing is, that would mean we would still be in our B. And we didn't got the peak of B yet. If it's this or higher, doesn't matter. In that case, you take your 0.5 from the A bottom to wherever your B peak is. So let's say our B peak is, I think, 764, 46. This would be your B peak. In that case, you only have to come near the 0.5, which in that case would be 401. This pullback target is doable in a year, maybe max 2 years. But it would also look like this. You always also have to do your lower peak, your MUT, but of course, because you're not going that low, it will take shorter time. But it still would be a pretty big and bad news correction thing. Yeah. Then let's start with the micro tracking. So overall, our last really peak was October 2025. Since then, we made our big broadening wedge, which ended in a perfect V. So since November 2025 till December 2025, and to be exact, December 17, 2025, this was just our A. We pulled back, came up again, made new all-time highs. So this last peak, our last all-time high on December 26, was just our B. And we pulled back. Is this pullback already finished? Well, the same like on micro tracking, we're taking from the low of A, the 0.5, to the peak of B. And look what we did today. A perfect 0.5. I mean, perfect. We broke a little bit under it, but we bounced. So I'm really thinking that the next weeks will be massive upside. The only thing which could still happen, if you look, here's our B peak, which is at the same time a top, so a C. Here's our lower high. We fall under where we started. We came up again, midpoint. We fall back where we started, came up again, rejected the trend line. This was our last time to sell before we fell to the 0.5, which is also a V under A. Perfect. The only thing which still could happen if we're not just gapping is that we still have to come to do the higher low. In that case, for Monday, your target would be 680. Yeah, maybe. It's micro tracking, not really looking for it. What are our next levels for the upside? So first of all, I would look more like for a really gap. But if you're doing it for one-to-one, where your next target for A would be 686.82 and for B 687.76. But now we are looking for a C. And the C has to be higher than all-time highs or higher than B. My first price target for next week is 703-ish. And if you really get stupid, 716-ish. I would more think that we get this in the next 2 weeks. How much would that be from here? Yeah, 5%. I would really look this more like, but the thing right now with SPY is we're getting more vertical every day. Yeah, it gets more vertical every day. So the thing is, because we are tracking or eye tracking a blow off top, normally 5% in a week or even a day is not something you would expect for SPY. Well, but if you think back 6 years ago or 5 years ago, 2% or 150% up and down on SPY wasn't common either. So I think in the absolute end of this thing, it will be quite common to see 4 or 5%. That crazy it is. And to find the C is always the most volatile thing. And I'm leaning more to this, just saying. For the alternative, well, in that case, this would be our top. It doesn't make sense right now for me, but always have an alternative. You would still have to come up, most likely to 687. This would be then one of your lower peaks already. Then you would go down. Most likely you will bounce at 669. You will come up again. This would be your M. Even lower. Come up again. In that case, you would reject this trend line. this would be your T. And then even more lower. Yeah. And the stupid part is, then you would even come up again. But this would be a second lower peak, where we are closing into the real lower peak, and again and again and again. In that case, you won't break the all-time high at least in a year. You won't see that again in the next year. What confirmation could we look at? Well, we could look at Bitcoin, for example, because Bitcoin did also something nice today. Also for this, I have two versions. In the best version, October wasn't the peak. And that means in November, this was our V&A. Since then, we finished our higher low. And from here on, and I would expect it for the bearish and the bullish version on Sunday, we go up. Next target is 95. After that, 107. And for the bullish way, you just get a blow off top, the same like SPY. For the alternative, this would still be your V and the A. This would still be your higher low, but in that case, in my opinion, you won't break 107. This would be your lower peak. And overall, your next target is 44K. Yeah? You will come down. T 0.5. Yeah? So it doesn't matter if you're looking bullish or bearish on it. This still looks for upside, same as SPY. And for the last confirmation, we look at VIX. So everyone knows when VIX going up, SPY goes down. VIX going down, SPY goes up. So for just this iteration here, we already got our C. We already got our lower peak. We already got our M. And what we did this Friday, in my opinion, was the top of our T. What does that mean? Well, to finish T, we have to come at least 1 cent where it started. And most of the time even lower. And that means we will go down. The only question is, are we breaking all-time low on VIX or not? But for me, we will break at least 1270. And this knife for VIX would mean SPY. Massive upside. Will be an interesting week. Okay, I think I showed everything. Yeah. Meme update video will also come, and weekly recap video with all the other stocks. I will also post this weekend if you're interested. Okay, so if you liked it, leave a like. If you have questions or wishes, write it into the comments. I will put the explain video here, playlist here. And if you want to follow me, you can give me an abo. Let's see what happens next week.